Ready.
Hi everyone, this is Nick from your business law class. Today I'm going to be going over intellectual property, what it is, how we use it, and why it's very important. First thing I want to go over is what exactly is your intellectual property and patent laws. Intellectual property helps you maintain the integrity of your creation, whether it be a new app, a new service, a new product that you want to sell, whatever it may be. Your job as a business owner or an entrepreneur is to file a patent to make sure that you are going to be given credit for that creation. Again, just to make sure that no one else has ever done it and to make sure that you have the rights to that product to where maybe you sell it on down the line, you're able to receive a royalty fee for that. Why we have it is incredibly important, and that's to make sure that if you were to file a patent and someone else comes out with the exact same product, you are still given a level of royalty if there's not any changes done to the product. There's a lawsuit. I do want to go over about that in a little bit. The most important piece though is how it's going to be enforced, which again is going to be with the patent offices. These enforcements can be anything from you just changing your development process to make sure your product is not going to be similar enough to another person's invention, or where you blatantly lie and then there's legal action at that point, which can mean dollar amounts that are incredibly large, settlements, non-disclosure agreements, stuff like that. One of the more notable cases we do have in recent history going over patent laws is actually going to be the Facebook lawsuit years ago. For those of you who don't know, Mark Zuckerberg went to Harvard University and he was approached by three individuals, the Winklevoss twins and Divyan Narendra. They had the idea of creating a social network, which at the time was going to be exclusive to Harvard undergraduates, since it would have been incredibly similar to Friendster or MySpace, some of the older social network sites that used to be around. What Mark Zuckerberg would do instead of helping these individuals create their website was he would take the idea and run with it on his own and one of his friends. This resulted in a massive lawsuit in which the three individuals that would end up taking him to court would receive a hefty settlement and all sign non-disclosure agreements. The other lawsuit that ended up going down over the Facebook whole fiasco is going to be Mark Zuckerberg versus Eduardo Saverin. Now, Eduardo Saverin was originally one of the people who worked on Facebook. He was the COO and was incredibly crucial to make sure Facebook had the finances it did. He was one of the original people to buy things like products, servers, to make sure the site would not crash. He would end up being kicked out of the company without really rhyme or reason. Mark Zuckerberg would kind of stab him in the back, and he ends up getting kicked out. He would later receive a massive settlement to make sure that everything was going to be okay between the two. He is no longer a part of the company. However, he does own a significant share in stock and does receive credit for that invention. One of the other lawsuits that we can look at when it comes to the exact same product, like I said earlier, if you ever watched TV early 2000s era, the name Billy Mays is probably very, very relevant to you. He was always selling you a product that you might not have needed, but it looked really cool. Whoever remembers the ShamWow product was an incredibly absorbent towel that was later actually copied by another individual with Zorbies. There was no difference between the product. They were both very, very similar in structure. There was no, even color difference at points between what they were. So you had two people or two companies selling you the exact same product, and then there would end up being a court battle about it, which again goes back to why is it important to have an intellectual property and patent law setup. So in short, patents are going to be very important for your intellectual property to maintain a level of integrity for your design or the designs of others, to make sure that if you are going to be given a product or a future with a service that you are creating, that you and you alone can profit from it, or if someone else chooses to possibly invest or develop a better improvement upon it, you are still going to be given a level of royalty. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you have a good semester.